Alright, welcome back guys. So last week we made it up to the inside of Fraser Island or K'gari. Went through the Wide Bay Bar, had a bit of an adventure travelling up, a bit of rough weather. So this week we're going to continue on and continue up to Airlie Beach. So come along for the ride.
Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away.
Cause now I'm knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair.
So the next morning we got up, there was no rush, so we had a bit of a sleep in after the rough day travelling from Mooloolaba. We got up, we had a nice cooked breakfast. We had to wait for the tide to swing around because with the Great Sandy Straits and inside there, it is quite shallow and does get quite a lot of tidal flow. So if you're running against the tide, you can basically go backwards if you're at the wrong spot. So we waited for the tide to go in the direction we wanted to go, and we headed up to a little place called Gary's Anchorage. Now this spot, if you ever get there guys, it's absolutely gorgeous. Very protected, right in on the shores of Fraser. I could have spent days here. Unfortunately, we had to continue on. We spent one night there. We had to make it around the corner to Pyalba the next day, as we had to hand in the transfer papers to the Department of Transport to put the boat in my name. And we weren't going to make it further up in time before the 2-week cut-off was, and I didn't want to get a fine, so we ducked around there and spent the day at Pyalba doing all the paperwork. Had our first dinghy ride into shore, which was quite an experience. We got stuck on a little bit of shallow reef there, and unfortunately I got a plastic bottom boat instead of an aluminium bottom, so we put a couple of little tears in it. Bit of a learning curve that was. So when we get up to Burnett Heads, it'll be time to buy a patch repair kit and stop the boat from sinking. Alright, so the boat's now transferred, 100% in my name, which is great. No fines to be paid. A bit of a mucking around with the government department, we all know what they're like. Walking backwards and forwards to the boat, getting signatures, signing stack decks, crazy stuff like that. But after a full day of trekking around, we finally got it all done and we're all legit. So the next job was to head to Burnett Heads. So the sail up to Burnett Heads was a bit rough. The wind was up. We were making pretty good time, but we did have a bit of an incident. We had the big Jenica out, which is quite a large sail. We were getting close to wanting to put a reef in, and then we had this big massive gust come through, just grabbed the sail. The sheet from the sail runs back to a pulley which comes back to the winch back in the cabin, so we don't have to go outside the cabin, makes it all safe. But unfortunately, the gentleman who owned the boat before us, when he's fitted the pulleys there, he's put a 1/4 inch washer underneath. Now if anyone knows boats guys, if you ever put a hole in the deck and put a fitting on there, you've got to plate it underneath. You've got to put some good support in there. A little 1/4 inch washer just was never going to cut it, so it's actually pulled a hole through the deck. So we pulled into Burnett Heads to the marina there, jumped into the chandlery, got a few bits and pieces, made the repair, got a nice plate to put under it, so it's really supported now and we won't have the same problem again. We ended up spending the night there, going to the pub for dinner, which is great. Nice little town, quite comfortable. It was a little bit blowy, but yeah, at least we were in the marina and we were safe. So once the boat was all ready to go again and we were, did a couple of things, tied it up, filled all our water tanks up, the next day it was time to head further north. So from Burnett Heads we got up early, left reasonably early, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, something like that, and headed up to a place called Pancake Creek, which is near Busted Head Lighthouse. It's about 63-mile day. Long day, but not too bad. Lots of sailing, bugger all motoring. Had the wind behind us. The swell was up a little bit, but not too bad. So we pulled around into Pancake Creek, beautiful little spot. well protected from the southerlies we were experiencing. We were able to pick up a mooring there for the night. So yeah, we sat back, had a couple of drinks, and yeah, relaxed. The next day, the plan was to get to Hummocky Island, so about another 50 nautical mile. So we left, you know, not too early, about 7 o'clock, cruised up towards there. Now, Hummocky was beautiful. We pulled around on the northern side of the island, nice little bay there, protected from the wind. The only problem with Hummocky was in the southerly, the swells do wrap around the headland and come into the bay, which is protected from the wind, but not from the swell. We did spend a few hours there. We jumped on the tender, went into the beach, stretched legs, had a bit of an explore, running up and down the beach. Kobe enjoyed it, had a little bit of a swim in the shallows there. But yeah, we could not put up with the rolling. We went back out to make some dinner and it was going crazy, guys. Like, the boat was literally being thrown from side to side. We were having plates falling off the benches. You couldn't let go of your beer because it would slide off the table. Yeah, there was groceries falling out of the cupboard. It was terrible. I wasn't prepared to spend the night there. We wouldn't have slept anyway. So we hung out for an hour or two, had something to eat, chilled out, let the body recover from the day of sailing. Then we did our night sail. I don't know if you can see much, but here we are, night sailing. Beautiful evening. Check out these stars. Okay, so from Hummocky we left and we headed to High Peak Island. It's about 95 mile, longest sail we've done so far. High Peak was beautiful. It's one of those islands that's a little bit further off the coast, so it doesn't look like it gets visited very often. We're on the western side of the island, so protected from the easterlies or the southeasterlies. Nice and calm little anchorage and just a beautiful spot. Definitely somewhere I'd like to go again and spend, you know, definitely a few days if we can get the weather out there. Really nice, and the fish life was amazing. There were fish jumping everywhere, schools of tuna and mackerel and things like that. So yeah, definitely got to go back out there and explore that place. And this was the moment we'd been waiting for. So from High Peak Island, we headed across to Middle Percy Island, and it was time to visit the famous Middle Percy Yacht Club, the Percy Island Yacht Club. So we cruised across there, nice little sail, only a couple of hours. We had the wind behind us, it had turned around to the east now, so we had wing on wing, which was great. Had both the sails out each side. Motored along, actually, well, sailed along quite nicely. So once we pulled around the corner and into the bay, check out the view here, guys. Like, Middle Percy, it's just one of those places you want to visit. Very famous, lots of cruisers stop there on their way up or down the coast. And over the years, one of the caretakers back in the day built a little A-frame there for the cruisers to come past, so they had somewhere to sit down and have a nightcap or a couple of drinks and a feed with the other sailors that were travelling and catch up and share stories. And over the years, people have been leaving their call card, so like a little sign or a piece of wood with their boat name engraved on it, or some people leave fenders, flags. There's lots of different things, but very interesting place. We spent hour upon hour there just hunting around, looking at all the different signs that people had left. Got to see a couple of my favourite YouTube sailing video makers. Got to find their signs, which was great. Yeah, but really lovely place. The bay is beautiful, white sandy beach, lots of coconut trees and palm trees and things like that, and just an all-round nice place to be. We got to search around the island, go and see a few of the sites, some of the nice little bays which were really picturesque. Headed up towards the homestead to go and visit the caretakers, but unfortunately we got almost all the way up to the top, and they were on their way down in the car to help a guy out who was trying to put his boat on the careening poles there so he could do a bit of maintenance while the tide was out. So we jumped in the back of the ute with the dog and got a lift back down the hill. So unfortunately we never got to visit the homestead, so just another reason to go back. I didn't get to leave a calling card from Skeleton. Obviously, as a new boat, we didn't have many things on board and nothing with the Skeleton logo or anything yet. So next time we go down there, we're going to take something and leave our mark on the island, which will be great. We got to spend 4 good days there. The weather was brilliant. Not very often you get to spend that long there, because the Western Bay, where the yacht club is not that protected. We were lucky enough to have easterlies, so we sat there for a couple of days in nice calm conditions. Wasn't very rolly, so yeah, considering ourselves very lucky that we got to spend so much time there. And one of the days we were at Middle Percy, we ducked off to a little island just off the side of Middle Percy there to have a bit of a spearfish and a snorkel and a bit of a swim around. And check this out, we found an albino dolphin. There were 2 in the pod, which was amazing. Yeah, never seen one in the wild before, so that was really cool. So on the last day at Middle Percy, the wind was starting to pick up. We had bugger all internet there, but we were able to get enough to search the weather, and the weather was going to turn bad overnight. So we hung out for the day and decided we'd head off at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So another night sail coming up, which is cool. But from Middle Percy, the plan was to head to Scoreful Island, which is basically at the bottom of the Whitsundays, and a nice protected bay there on the northern side. And as the wind was turning and going back to southerly, it was going to be a perfect anchorage. So we hightailed it through the night, sailed along. We got to Scoreful and it was still only like 6 o'clock in the morning, so it was pretty early. We had the wind behind us, so we decided we'd continue on. So we turned it into actually a 114-mile passage. So we broke the record, we exceeded 100 miles, and we continued straight on to Hamilton Island. We'd been at sea now for a couple of weeks, so we decided we might go and get a bit of luxury. So we booked a pen at Hamilton Island, went in there, hooked up to power, got the aircon running, all that sort of stuff, and headed straight to the pub. A couple of beers and a nice feed. We got to use the facilities there, so nice long hot shower, not having to worry about water supply on the boat, because generally on the boat they're quick rinse offs. So it was great just to sit there at the marina and waste all their hot water. So we had a good time there, explored the island, had a bit of a walk around. Beautiful spot, bloody expensive, but yeah, beautiful spot, well worth a visit. But yeah, just be aware it's going to cost you. So, but no, it was a nice day. From Hamilton, it was just a short couple of hour trip back to Airlie Beach, and we'd finally made it home. So we had done 550 odd nautical miles. We had some amazing adventures. We got to spend plenty of family time together, talking and chatting and catching up, and you know, it was just a really special couple of weeks traveling with Kobe, myself, and Dad and Annette. Yeah, and we made it. We got the boat back to Airlie. So that's the first part of our journey, guys. Yeah, sorry about some of the footage. Obviously, we didn't have a GoPro at this stage, so it was all on the phone, and yeah, the phone's not really all that awesome, to be honest. But yeah, it was just, hopefully you enjoy. Yeah, jump onto our Facebook page and our Instagram page, Sailing Skeleton. Give us a like, give us a follow. Also, for anyone who's interested, you might want to read our blog. You can jump onto sailingskeleton.com.au. If you sign up, we've got a couple of plans there. So there's a free mate plan, so you get access to our blog and you can read that for nothing. There are also a couple of paid plans for those who'd like to contribute. The cheapest one is $12 a year, so that's only $1 a month, guys. It's nothing, but that helps us with a bit of internet coverage and things like that. And if you really want to contribute, you can become a contributor for $120 a year. It's still only $12 a month, so it's not a big amount of money out of your pocket. You know, a couple of cups of coffee per month, but it really does go a long way to help us. Our goal is to try and get Starlink. Obviously, we're homeschooling Kobe while we're traveling, so we do have a bit of issues with internet from time to time. So if we can get a little bit of funds happening through this, the main goal is to upgrade to Starlink so we can have a bit more internet coverage to do the schoolwork, and obviously to post some videos out there for you guys. So yeah, jump on. There is some merch on the website for anyone who's interested. You want to join the crew, become part of the family. Yeah, so jump on, have a look at that. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon.